नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधा गोविंद दास स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते प्रभुपाद्य देवं गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी ग्राम्य जन विस्तारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गोपाल कृष्ण स्वामिनिति नामिने। प्रभुपादस्य साहित्य यः प्रकाश्य विचिर्य च प्रचार कृत्वान् साधु भगवत्पादाय नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतां पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपादां सहगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासवि गौर भक्तवृंद। भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासवि गौर भक्तवृंद। भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासवि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जाओ विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज के चार अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जाय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जाय, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोविंद श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिगोवर्धन की जाय, श्री वृंदावन धाम की जाए, श्री नवदीप धाम की जाए, गंगा माई की जाए, जमुना माई की जाए, तुलसी देवी की जाए, भक्ति देवी की जाए, समवेता भक्त वृंद की जाए, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज। हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण।
जाओ विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज के चार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज
प्रभुपाद की जय।
हरि ओम हरि ओम
हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय श्री
जय श्री कृष्ण।
हरि ओम हरि ओम।
श्री कृष्ण।
All right, so we completed 7th chapter yesterday. Now we are in the middle 6 chapters. Middle 6 chapters are very, very important. As I told you before, these are the diamonds. All right, there are these 6 diamonds in the jewelry box. The jewelry box, you know, Karma Yoga and the Gnana Yoga, but the real contents are the Bhakti Yoga. So yesterday we saw the 7th chapter. 7th chapter was titled as what?
The knowledge of the absolute.
The knowledge of the absolute. All right. And in that, after describing all this knowledge regarding himself and the spiritual world, all this, Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjun some difficult terms at the end of the chapter, some difficult terms like what is adhyatma, what is adhibhut, all these things. So we will sing that last sloka and then we will go from there to chapter number 8. All right. So everybody has the book and please open the chapter 7th last sloka, 7.30. Everybody has opened that?
Yeah.
So I will sing and then you sing after me. Sadhi bhutadi daivam mam,
Sadhi bhutadi devam mam,
Sadhi yagnam chaye viduhu,
Sadhi yagnam chaye vidu,
prayan kale api chamam,
prayana kale api chamam,
te vidur yukta chetasah,
te vidur yukta chetasah,
Sadhi bhutadi daivam mam,
Sadhi bhutadi devam mam,
Sadhi yagnam chaye viduhu,
Sadhi yagnam chaye vidu,
prayan kale api chamam,
प्रयाणकाले अपि च माम्
ते विदुर्युक्त चेतसः
ते विदुर्युक्त चेतसः
Okay, third time. Sadhi bhutadiदैवं मां साधी यज्ञं च ये विदुः
यज्ञं च ये विदुः
प्रयां काले अपि च माम्
प्रयाणकाले अपि च माम्
ते विदुर्युक्त चेतसः Very good. So in this last sloka, Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna that those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. In this whole sloka, the real most important term Lord Krishna is speaking is prayankale. Right? How does it relate to us?
When we leave this body.
Yes, everyone. All right. Everyone who has obtained this body has to leave it. All right. And Bhagavan Krishna has said what about Mrityu Jatasya hi? Who knows this?
Jatasya hi dhruvam mritya janma jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya
So this is an eternal rule and nobody is exempt from it. Even who is not exempt. Brahma Bhuvna Loka. That sloka will come today. All right. So in this term, other terms are also used here. So Prabhupada Maharaj writes in the purport that persons acting in Krishna consciousness are never deviated from the path of entirely understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All right. Entirely understanding means to understand Lord Krishna tatvatah. All right. And we have discussed that word Vetti Tattvata so many times. Okay. How can you and me know Lord Krishna in truth?
Bhaktya by
Bhaktya mama vijnana. Yavan yaschasmi tattvata. So this is what it is. In the transcendental association of Krishna consciousness, one can understand how the Supreme Lord is the governing principle of the manifestation and even of the demigods. Gradually, by such transcendental association, one becomes convinced of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and at the time of death, such a Krishna conscious person can never forget Krishna. Naturally, he is thus promoted to the planet of Lord Krishna, Golok Vrindavan. All right, so this is the purport of this sloka. Bhagavan Krishna also has said on 4th chapter that one who knows me, my janma karma, he will come to me. Which sloka?
Janma karma me divyam evam yoveti tatvatah yaktva deha punarjanmana iti mameti sarjuna.
This is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. All right, this is the diamond sloka. We saw it in the 4th chapter. Tyaktva deham. Just now we say that nobody is exempt from leaving the body. He has to leave the body today or tomorrow. All right. So tyaktva deham punarjanma na iti. That is our goal. All right. We don't want to keep on rotating here from one body to another. So tyaktva deham punarjanma na iti mamiti sarjuna. He comes to me. Now what is the advantage of going to Lord Krishna? You will not get a material body, but what kind of body will you get?
Spiritual.
Sat Chid and Anand body. This is known as Parsad Sarir. All right. So that's our goal. Bhagavad Gita, very easiest process. Lord Krishna has given so many processes. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and there is another yoga he will talk about in today's chapter. Sat Chakra Yoga. Have you heard of that? Kundalini. All this we will discuss today. But all this is the best thing is to do his bhakti and get easily out of this world. Okay. Now we will start with the chapter number 8. Chapter number 8 starts with Arjun asking how many questions? How many questions he asked? Remember. So remember, 8 chapters, he asked 8 questions. How many?
8 and 8.
8 chapters, 8 questions. What are those? We will see slowly like that. Okay. So in the text number 1, which we will sing, Arjun says, Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim karma purushottama.
Kim karma purushottama.
Adhibhutam cha kim proktam.
Adhibhutam cha kim proktam.
Adhidaivam kim uchyate.
Adhidaivam kim uchyate.
So you can read the translation, Padmaben.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods?
Right.
Please explain this to me.
Right. So in this sloka, he is asking Kim. How many times?
8 times.
7,
I think it says Kim.
No,
1,
in the
2,
sloka, this first sloka.
3, 4 times.
And the last 5 times.
5 times.
If you see in the English translation, you can see Kim 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 times. All right. So first 5 questions are, what is Adhyatma? First is, what is Brahma? All right. Number 2, Kim Adhyatmam? Kim Karma? What is Adhibhut? And what is Adhidev? So first 5 things is asking in the first sloka. It's still continuing asking in the second sloka. Adhiyagnaha katham ko atra.
Adhiyagnaha katham ko atra.
Dehe asmin madhusudana.
Dehe asmin madhusudana.
Prayan kale cha katham.
Prayan kale cha katham.
Gneyo si nyatatmabhi. Right. So in this second sloka, he is asking now the next question. He had 5 questions. Now he is asking this: what is Adhiyagna? Means Lord of a sacrifice. All right. So after asking this 6th question, he is asking, how does he live in this body? Who? That Adhiyagna. Right. And then he asks the most important question of all questions, that Prayanikale, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? Prayanikale cha katham jneyasi niyatatmabhi. Niyatatmabhi means those who are self-controlled. So these are the 8 questions of 8th chapter. But Bhagavan Krishna wants to emphasize the last question. All right. So he is giving very brief answers to those first 7 questions, and then he elaborates on the last question about how to leave this body at the end of the life. Okay, so I'll just give you some summarization here, that in the previous chapter 7, Krishna mentioned several terms starting with Brahma. Right? And in this chapter, Arjuna inquires about them in first 2 slokas. Lord Krishna answers 7 of them, and the last question in the rest of the chapter. All right, 7 of them he asked in 2 slokas, and the last question he takes so long to answer. Krishna also speaks about Kevala Bhakti and Yoga Misra Bhakti, and describes the two destinations of yogis. So what is the content or theme of this chapter? Number one, he answers those 7 questions, and he answers in detail, Prayan Kale, at the end of the life, what you should be, how should you be remembering Lord Krishna, that he details. And on top of that, he also explained what is Kevala Bhakti and what is Yoga Misra Bhakti. All right. And he also mentions what are the destinations of the yogis. All right. So let's read these ones. What is Brahma? He is explaining here in the next one. So Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Bala.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Aksharam Brahma Paramam
Aksharam Brahma Paramam
Swabhavo Adhyatma Muchyate
Swabhavo Adhyatma Uchyate
Bhut Bhavod Karo
Bhut Bhavod Karo
Visargah Karma Sangita.
Visarga Karma Sanjitaha.
Okay, Sangita Ben can translate. Do you have the book?
Yes, I do.
All right, read the translation, please.
The Supreme Personality of God has said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action to the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma, or fruitive activities.
So these 3 terms are explained. What is Brahma? Brahma actually means the Jivatma. All right, you and me, we are Jivatma. And this Jivatma is indestructible, Aksharam, that we saw it in the second chapter. Right? And the transcendental living entity is separate from the material body. So everybody is clear about what is Brahma?
Yeah.
All right. There is another term which is known as Parabrahma. And who is that Parabrahma?
Parmeshwar Bhagavan.
That is Bhagavan Shri Krishna. All right. So Brahma is a Jeev, Parabrahma is Bhagavan Krishna. Now, what is the similarity and difference between Brahma and Parabrahma?
That Brahma knows, Brahma, like us, we know about ourselves. Parabrahma knows about everybody, everything.
Very good, very good. The Jiva knows only about his body, all right, his field of activities. But Bhagavan Krishna is knowing everybody's body. Why? Because he is also present in everybody's body. All right. So what is the similarity between Brahma and Parabrahma?
Quality.
Quality, very good. Both are spirit. They are not matter. Both are Chetan. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bhunam diyo vidadhati kama. So Bhagavan Krishna and we are part and parcels. All right. So we and he, we are equal in quality. But are we equal in quantity?
No.
No. So this difference is a very fundamental understanding of Bhagavad Gita. You must. So this means a jiva, can it become God anytime?
No.
Cannot. It cannot. All right. So this you and me, we must understand very fundamentally if you want to proceed on Bhakti Marg. All right. Bhakti Marg is the easiest marg, and in this lifetime, before you breathe last, you will be able to go to Bhagavan Krishna's abode if you do this. Okay, very good. Now, number 2, what is Adhyatma? So he says, Adhyatma is Swabhav. All right. You and me, everyone has a very particular Swabhav, just like fingerprint. All right. There are two fingerprints do not match at all. Right? Very rarely, out of billions, maybe there are 2 same. But the fingerprint is taken is the surest ID of a person. right? That's why they take your fingerprints when you go for citizenship or whatever like that. All right. So this swabhav, your swabhav is yours, my swabhav is mine, and how has it been formed? So the eternal nature or the impressions that accompany the jiva and govern the body, that is known as adhyatma. Is also Sanskrit, it's known as sanskar. All right, you and me have sanskar from previous births, impressions. All right, so these sanskars are made up of impressions of combinations of gunas. All right, and this is how each of us has different kind of faith, different kind of religious system, and different kind of activities. So this adhyatma is very important to understand. You can ask why some people are atheists, why some people are believer in God, and why some people do not believe in God as a person, they believe only as Nirakar, Brahma. All this why? The reason is this. Is that clear? This is how it is. All right. Number 3, what is karma? That we have already seen. All right. That the karma is known as fruitive activity. Fruitive activities mean any activity which will produce a fruit, means reaction. Clear now? All right. And what does that fruit do to you, to the spirit soul? What does it do? That fruit
Binds us.
It binds it. All right. So karma is something which you do for the result, and that result binds you to another material body. All right. Okay. Now, what is adhibhuta? All right. So to remember, adhibhuta means panchamahabhuta. All right. Everybody knows panchamahabhut.
Yeah.
Geeta Ben, you know what are panchamahabhut? Who knows panchamahabhut?
Bhumir, Apo, Anlo, Vayu.
Bhumir, Apo, Analo, Vayu. These 5. And come. These 5 are bhuta. So adhibhuta means prakruti, the constantly changing physical world or material body consisting of material elements. So we are staying in this jagat, all right? And jagat definition is gachati iti jagat. All right, it keeps on changing. All right, today the morning is gone, today's morning will never come back. A new morning will come tomorrow, like that. That's how ayur harti vaipunsam. Everybody's life is cut down by one day, every day. But one who engages himself, tasya nitya uttam sloka vartaya. Those who are in Bhagavan Krishna, their lifespan is not cut. And you say, how come he also dies? The reason is that when he spends Krishna Katha, Krishna consciousness, is building his spiritual body. Like that. So this we will discuss a little later. Okay. So everybody clear about Adhibhut?
Yeah.
Adhibhut. Arsa Ben, you have 2 internet going?
Yeah, there are problems.
Oh, I see. Okay, no problem. I thought maybe it's extra good. All right. So Adhibhut is Prakruti. Now, what is Adhideva? What is the meaning of Deva?
Devi,
Devi Devata. All right.
Devi Devata.
Devi Devata means demigods. All right. And that demigods constitute the Virat Roop. All right. So you can remember Adhidev as the demigods which constitute the Virat Roop. Virat Roop, Bhagavan Krishna's Virat Roop, we will discuss in the 11th chapter. The gigantic universal form which includes all the demigods and their planets. All right. So everybody clear now about Adhibhut and Adhideva? And then who is Yadhi Yagna? All right. So one word you must remember which is equivalent to Lord Vishnu is Yagna. Yagna vai Sah Vishnu. Yagnarthat
Karmano.
Yagnarthat Karmano. 3rd chapter, 9th slok. All right. So karma Yagnarthat Karmano Anyatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhat. So if you do work for Yagna, for Vishnu, it will not bind you. But if you do the karma, fruitive activity, it will bind you. All right. So yagnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. That's that 3.9 slok. So everybody now clear about Adhi Yagna?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So far we have seen what is Brahma, which is Jeev. What is Adhyatma, the Swabhav of the Jeev. What is Karma? The Karma is the activity which produces result and binds us. Then Adhibhuta. Adhibhuta is material. Panch Mahabhut, Prakruti. Then Adhidaiva means demigods and Virat Purus. And then Adhi Yagna, who is Lord Vishnu, Paramatma. All right. Adi Yagna is enjoyer of all sacrifices, the Supreme Lord represented as Super Soul. So this is how these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions are answered. Everybody is clear about that? Very important to understand these terms. All right. The term Brahma is different from Brahma. What is the meaning of Brahma?
Lord Brahma.
Lord Brahma, Brahmaji. He is also avatar, Guna avatar. Right? Guna avatar of Bhagavan Krishna. There are 3 Guna avatars. One is Brahmaji, then Shivaji,
Vishnu.
and Vishnu. All right. So all this is, they are known as Guna avatar. All right. Now the 7th question is, how is this Yagna, Adhi Yagna, means the super soul, Paramatma, known in the body? All right. So the answer is, in the heart of every embodied being, as the regulator, I inspire performance of sacrifice and other things. So Lord Krishna tells Arjuna. All right, let's see the next slok. Now he's taking us to the 5th slok. All right, so next slok he says, Adhibhutam charo bhavaha purushadhi daivatam adhi yagyo aham evatra dehe devrutam bara. So can you read that translation, Harsaven? You have English?
Yeah. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature which is constantly changing is called Adhibhuta, the material manifestation, the universal form of the Lord, which includes all the demigods like those of the sun and moon, is called Adhideva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as a super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adi Yagna, the Lord of sacrifice.
Right. So now he has answered all these questions, and then Arjuna is asking, how is Adi Yagna known in this body? So he gives that answer. And then question number 8, he will elaborate how to know you at the point of death. All right. So let's see here. Let me give you some more comments. By service to Lord Sri Krishna, one attains the real meaning of these words and understands that the Brahma, the Jiva, Adhyatma, the Lord, Adi Yagna, the Lord, are worthy of realizing. 2 things out of these 5, 2 things you should realize. What are these? Brahma and Adi Yagna. So who is Brahma?
We.
Ourselves, the spirit soul. That we must understand who we are. Number 2, you should understand Adi Yagna. And who is the Adi Yagna?
Bhagwan Krishna.
The super soul.
Super soul.
And the super soul is just sitting next to us in our heart. All right. So these 2 things you must very scrutinizingly understand. All right. And the other items like Adhyatma, which is the Swabhav, Karma, the gross body Prakruti, the universal Virat, these are not very important to realize. They are side, kind of secondary. Those ones are primary. 2 things you must always know, and that we have already defined: the difference between Jiva and Paramatma or Bhagavan, right? How they are similar, how they are different. Similar in quality and not in
quantity.
These 2 things, if you understand, you are on the right understanding, right path. Okay.
Haribol.
Haribol, Ajit Bhai, welcome.
Haribol. Sorry, I'm late. I was in a meeting.
No problem. So we are in the 8th chapter, and we are proceeding to text number 5.
Okay.
All right. So summarizing, Brahma refers to the living entity. That's why, what if you say I am Brahma, how would you say in Sanskrit?
Aham Brahmasmi.
Aham Brahmasmi. All right, this you must remember. Aham Brahmasmi means
Dog says I am also. Padmaji, your dog is also says I am. He's barking. I am also Brahmasmi.
Yes. Very good. Why? Because in the dog's heart also there is Paramatma. Right? And Parabrahma refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Both are not same, although the word Brahma is also sometimes used to refer the Supreme Lord. So this must be clarified. Right? Bhagavan Krishna is residing in Golok Vrindavan. He has a spiritual body. From his body, there is a Prabha which is coming out. Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadand Koti Kotis. So there is Prabha, the light, aura which is coming out of. That is known as Brahma. And that Brahma is studied with spirit souls like us. Okay? And there are a lot of energies also there. So this Brahma and this Brahma, you should understand these two words. All right? The Brahma effulgence from coming from Lord's body is known as Brahma Jyoti. All right? So always that Brahma, which is Bhagavan Krishna's effulgence, called Brahma Jyoti, and the Brahma, which is Aham Brahmasmi, you must understand that Brahma is Jivatma. Clear? Everybody about clear that? Very good. Krishna thus refers to the creative force that gives rise to various bodies throughout the material elements due to material consciousness. So we all get bodies according to what, Ajit Bhai?
Our past karma.
Karma, bas. So karma is one thing which you and me also need to know how to manipulate it. Two things you must know: who am I? Who is Lord Krishna or Paramatma, Vishnu? And the third thing, how this karma is going to bind me, and what should I do in order to get no bondage? All right. So all these things we have discussed in third chapter also. All right. Now let's go to the section from 5, slok number 5 to slok number 8. All right. Let's see here. Recently, I attended some course also. So there are some slides I would like to show you. Okay. Can someone read this?
Yeah. Arjun is so eager to learn. The ability to learn is gift from God. But the eagerness to learn is one's own desire. This desire is the basis of progressive life.
Yes. So everybody understand what it says? If you and me want to solve the problems of body, I told you what is body. B for
birth.
B for
Birth.
O
Old
for
age.
old age. D for
death,
and Y
Disease.
for
Yamaraj.
Yamaraj. If you want to get rid of this, you have to follow this. What is that? There is one important word here.
Eagerness.
Bas, which is known as what in Sanskrit?
Jigyasa.
Huh?
Jignasa.
Laulyam.
Laulyam, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And that laulyam is so rare. It's a big diamond. Even if you have done hundreds of births, you have done so much sukruti, still it is very difficult to obtain.
Pankaj Bhai, you have it because you're attending so many courses. You're getting up at 3:30 in the morning and getting ready and doing all that.
This laulyam has come over so many years. All right.
Yes.
It has not come just last week. From 1984, that's it. Slowly it has increased like that. So as you understand that I have some laulyam, you should also strive.
Yeah.
Right? Why should you and me have that laulyam?
That's our own
Because we
self-interest.
want to solve this problem of BODY.
Yeah.
All right. No other medicine, no other way it can help you. There are other methods like Gnan Yoga, Astang Yoga, Sat Chakra Yoga, but they are not practical for us. Only practical thing for you and me is to remember Lord Krishna at every moment. That will come today. Every moment, how can you remember? But Lord Krishna will tell you how you can be able to do that. All right. So the whole section from this slok number 5 up to slok number 28 is just Lord Krishna is giving the gist of that, if you follow these instructions of mine, you'll come to me. So what is that slok which says tatra laulyam ekalam mulyam sat krutina labhyate? There is a Rup Goswami slok which says that laulyam is so important thing, and even if you have done hundreds of births, sukruti still is very difficult to obtain.
I have a question. Like,
yes.
Even you have lolium, but your prescribed duty, you have to do that. You have to work.
Yes. Yes.
What do you do?
Prescribed duty you must do. At the same time, you must develop laulyam for Lord Krishna's katha. Right? Both things should go there. That's what Lord Krishna will tell. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mamanusmar yudhyacha. Not mama anupar, leave everything, sit in the room and mamanusmar. No. You have to do your job. You have to do work if you are a housewife. All that. But doing housewife work, who prevents you from singing Hare Krishna? Can somebody prevent you from singing Hare Krishna when you are cooking, washing clothes, mopping floor? No. Your ears, Bhagavan Krishna has not given ear leads. He has given eye leads. Has he given ear leads?
No.
No. But now there are AirPods which have got ear leads. They are called AirPod Pro. Have you heard of that? AirPod, like this one.
Yeah.
They are called AirPod Pro. They have got special membrane by which if you put, it cuts off other noises. It cuts off other noises. But Bhagavan Krishna did not give ear leads. Why? Because you can hear his name anytime, 24/7. All right? Unmute, Ajit bhai.
Throw in some small information here. Somebody sent me something on WhatsApp the other day, and they were talking about these AirPods. They were saying when you put an AirPod in your ear for an hour, it increases the chances of your ear bacteria by 700 times. That's a lot. So I don't know how often you use, but and I don't know if it's correct or not. I'm just throwing it out.
All material things have side effects, including all medicines and all devices, and everything has side effects. All right. This is also mentioned by Narad in the first canto. All right. So in this material world, everything is imperfect. All right.
Yeah.
And everything produces side effects. That's why our goal should be get out of this material world for good, right? And this is the formula which we'll hear today. All right, so let's go to number 5. Everybody has the book?
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so Antakale cha mameva.
Antakale cha mameva.
Smaran muktva kalevaram.
Smaran muktva kalevaram.
Yah prayati samadbhavam.
Yah prayati samadbhavam.
Yati nastyatra sansayah.
Yati nastyatra sansayah.
Very good. So you can read translation, Ajit bhai.
Yeah. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Right. So anyone who doubts that Lord Krishna is saying, but I don't believe. No, he says there is no doubt about it. All right. That's why he's adding nastiyatra sansaya. All right. Then if somebody does not remember me, what happens to him? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam.
Tyajantyante kalevaram.
त्यजन्ते कलेवरम्
Tam vete kaunteya
त्वं
तमेवेति
तमेवैति कौन्तेय
कौन्तेय
sada tad bhavita.
सदा
सदा
तद्भावभावितः.
तद्भावितः।
Sangita Ben can read translation.
Yes. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Right. So that state, you and me don't want to remember anything else. You don't want to remember your wife or your husband. Don't want to remember your son or daughter. Don't remember your money. Don't remember your car. Don't remember your dog. Nothing doing. What's wrong with remembering dog? You can
You
get body
attain
of a
that
dog.
body. You
Eh?
attain
Yeah.
the body.
And who got the body of a deer?
Bharat Maharaj.
Bharat Maharaj.
Bharat Maharaj, the emperor of this planet. Bolo. He left everything. So much so, it is written Bhagavatam, that just like a man who passes a stool in the toilet, does he look after that, what kind of stool I have passed? No, he just gets out. Similarly, he left all his money, family, everything, just like stool. It's written in Bhagavatam. Still, he got attached to a deer cub and he had to become a deer. So you can see how dangerous is this, position of pets and all that. Those who go for pets therapy and all these things, they are doomed. All right. Because they have now advocated pet therapy. Those who have nobody in their family adopt a cat or a dog. 100%, if he dies with the thought of that dog or cat, they'll get the body. All right. And long back, I told you about my experience in one house which we were trying to buy. Yes, there was an old cat who was behaving as if she is the owner of the house. So all these things are real true. Behind the scene, what is happening by stringent laws of material nature, you and me are not understanding. So intelligent man understands that where is my asakti, where is my attachment? Listen it. All right. And slowly attach for Lord Krishna. Tasmat sarvesu kaleshu
तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु
mam manusmar yudhya cha
माम् अनुस्मर्युध्य च
mayyarpe manobuddhir
मयि अर्पे मनोबुद्धिर्
mame vaisyasi asansaya.
मामेव वैश्यसि संशयः.
Padma Ben can read.
Yeah. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
So, Sangeeta Ben, do you see your answer there?
Yes, I do.
Yes, very good. So, when you realize that, you do all your activities, but keep your mind or your ears hearing Katha. All right. You are taking breakfast in the morning. How much time? 15-20 minutes. All right. What are you doing that time? Are you gossiping about some things? Politics, money, other people?
No.
Don't waste this time. Hear Krishna Katha. On cell phone, you can hear Krishna Katha. Go to ISKCON Desire Tree. There are so many nice lectures. Or if you are not interested in lectures, you can hear Krishna bhajans. All right? So many bhajans are there. Very nice bhajan about Lord Krishna. So do these. These are practical, very applicable kind of things. All right? And you will see change in your consciousness in a few weeks' time if you practice this. All right? So instead of gossiping, leave all the Gramya Katha as much as required. That's all. Don't put so much your emphasis on this. The news you and me watch, all right, is filled with so much commercials and so many kind of pictures there. They pollute our mind. So minimize all these things. Very good. Then the 8th sloka. Abhyas yoga yuktena
Abhyas yoga yuktena
chetasa nanya gamina
Chetasa
Chetasana
Nyangamina
Paramam Purusham Divyam
Paramam Purusham Divyam
Yati Parthanu Chintayan.
Yati
Yati
Parthanu
Partha
Chintanaya.
Anuchintayan.
He who meditates on me as the supreme personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from this path, he, O Parth, is sure to reach me. Now you get the answer, solid answer, right? Know this way, that way, keep focused on Lord Krishna. No, my mind is going away so many times. Okay. On first day, the child does not start walking and running. Have you seen the child on the very first day starts? No, he falls down so many times before he starts walking. Similarly, will fall. But if you have this practice, then you will slowly be able to continue engaging your mind in Lord Krishna. All right. Anytime during the day, just stop and ask yourself, what am I thinking? Do this 4 or 5 times. Then increase it. All right. What am I doing? What is my mind thinking? All right. Is it important for my real self? No, if I have to pay the bill, so I have to write the check or whatever. That much is okay. All right. That is practical. You have to do that. And when you are writing check, if you are not remembering Lord Krishna, that is fine. But as soon as you finish the check business, this, that, go back. How can you go back? Start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Don't you think this is practical?
Yes.
Very easy. To start with, I had that problem. But then now I realize, no, I can do it. Still, I am not able to do all the time, but I do majority of the time. I have made some rules in my life that when I go upstairs, I have to go 12 steps. All right. So I must complete one slope. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. When I come back down, also I have, so make such rules for yourself. And for what? For your own good, for your ultimate good. All right. Like that. So this is known as Krishna consciousness. All right. So in this section from slok number 5 to 8, let me summarize here. It says, just by remembering Krishna, one attains Krishna. By remembering something else, one attains that object. Everybody clear about that? Since previous thoughts are the cause of thoughts at death, one should practice abhyas, remembering Krishna throughout life while doing his duties. Then remembering Krishna at the time of death is possible. Krishna will now tell Arjun different ways of remembering him. So this is now the from slok number 9 to 13. Lord Krishna gives some methods by which you can remembering him. All right. In the 9th, he says ways of remembering. He says kavim. Kavim means omniscient, knower of the past, present, and future. That's number 1 slok. Let me see here. The 9th slok. So I'll just sing and then one can read. Kavim Puranam Manusasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyah Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastat. Arsaben can read translation.
Yeah. One who at the time of death.
No. 9th.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is the smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is the beyond all material conceptions, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like a sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature.
Right. So these are the 9 things Bhagavan Krishna is telling us. All right. That you can remember me as these 9 elements. Number 1 is Kavim. Kavim means he's omniscient. He knows everything. So Kavi in Sanskrit means all omniscient. He knows everything what is happening, right? Past, present, future. So that's number one. Number two, Puranam means beginningless, all right, or the oldest. Number three, Anusasitaram means control of everything. Anusasan. He's doing sashan on everything. He is the controller. Number four, Aniyam. He's smaller than the smallest. All right. And then Sarvasya Dhataram, maintainer of everything. Also, he's Achintya. Achintya means inconceivable. Then Rupam means with a beautiful personal form. What kind of form? Aditya Varnam. Luminous like the sun and the self-revealing. And Tamasaha Parastad means transcendental to material nature, full of ignorance. Out of all this 9, you just remember even one is enough. Which is the easiest of one to remember out of this? Aditya Varnam. In the morning, you and me see the sun rising. All right. Just bow down. Aditya yad Aditya gatam tejo jagat bhasayate akhilam. Yat chandramasi yat chagno tat tejo vidam. Just to remember that this light coming out is from Lord Krishna. All right. So this is how you can remember Lord Krishna in everything. All right. Now from 10th onwards, he is telling about the Sat Chakra. Sat Chakra. Everybody knows what is Sat Chakra. There are chakras, means some wheels in our body, right?
In the spine, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Let me see whether I have the picture of that. Muladhar is one of them, and then there are six like that, and topmost is known as Brahmarandra. Here it is known as Agna Chakra. There are
Sahasrar, one of them. Sahasrar.
Right, like that. Okay, so I'll just go through this. We don't want to go through the slokas there because this is not practical for us. All right, just like the Ashtanga Yoga. Sat Chakra Yoga is one who at the time of death fixes his life air or pran between the eyebrows, which is known as Agna Chakra. And by the strength of yoga, with an undeviating mind, remembers the Supreme Lord, all right, in full devotion, bhaktya, and will certainly attain Lord Krishna. And Arjun did not understand the method of fixing the pran at the Agna Chakra as a part of Sat Chakra Yoga. So Krishna will now explain the process of performing it and the goal achieved by it. So what are the requirements for Sat Chakra Yoga? So Lord Krishna summarizes. First is renunciation or no attachment, which is known as Vitaraga. Elsewhere in 4th chapter, this word Vitaraga is used. Who knows?
Mahaputa Bhagavata.
Vitarag bhaya krodha man mana ma upasita. Bahu gnana tapsa puta man bhava magata. After the slok Janma karma chame divyam, Lord Krishna speaks Vitarag bhaya krodha. So Vitarag means one who has no attachment. Number 2, very important, is brahmacharya, celibacy. Number 3, knowledge of the Vedas, Vedavit, and then uttering pranava, omkar. So if you have these requirements, then only you can go for Sat Chakra Yoga or Sat Chakra Yoga. And say, what is the result? Result is liberation into Brahma, the effulgence of Lord Krishna. If you do this Sat Chakra Yoga. I know of a gentleman in India when I was very young. He went to a guru in Pune, right? Pune. Pune is a city near Bombay. And there is one Maharaj, his name was Gunavani Maharaj, right? Long back, I'm talking when I was 15, 16 there. And then when he came back, the guru had somehow, they call it Saktipat or whatever. He is initiated into this Kundalini Yoga. This Kundalini, Sat Chakra means Kundalini. Kundalini is a energy lying at the base of the sacrum, base of the spinal cord. And it's 2.5 rounds like that, like a kundali of a snake. From there, for some mystical kind of powers, they can ignite that or activate it in some persons, like that. Then it starts going from here up to there. Every day you have to practice for half an hour, sit in the process of meditating on Nirakar, Brahma, Om, or even Bhagavan Krishna, Vishnu, like that. And then slowly it comes to your head, and then you leave the body, like that. So this gentleman I know, because his life changed after this thing activated. And in about a year or half, he passed away, like that. So some of these side effects happen like that. I know this is because it was my father. Yeah, I knew that when I was 16, he passed away, like that. So some of these things are mystical and not practical for all of us.
So the Brahmarandra, when somebody is going through this last one, Brahmarandra, then anything happen here on the top of the head? Did you hear about anything?
They bring that Kundalini up to Agna Chakra, and Brahmarandra is just an outlet. Right? Everybody has that Brahmarandra. If you put your head in your skull, there is one depression somewhere in the middle. That is Brahmarandra, where the fontanelle closed when the baby, when baby is born, it is very soft. Actually, there is no bone there. Right? And then it closes. That's Brahmarandra. I do not know much
because
details about.
My father's friend, he was a Brahmin, pure, very pious Brahmin. And every day he was doing Geeta, Bhagavad Gita and everything. And the end of his life, he knew that now I'm going to go. Like he was old also, like around 80 or something. So he was not talking to anybody. And that was in November, not before the Diwali, before 2 months of Diwali. And he was not feeling good. And the daughter was not going far from him, that maybe he thought, she was thinking that my father will go anytime. But father told her that, you don't worry, I am not going to go until 14th of January, the Uttarayan. Because after I am going to go to after Uttarayan, and I am going to knock the door. Like after Uttarayan, there is these two things, right? I think this is in the same chapter.
Same chapter, yes. Yeah. It will come later.
So what happened, that he was very sick and he was not talking to anybody. He was he was not looking to anybody. He was putting his dhoti on his face, any kind of cloth on the face. He didn't want to look anybody or anything. And right after Uttarayan, the second day, he passed away. And the daughter was telling me that something was happened here to him.
Right.
I don't know.
So all these things are mystical, for common persons like us, we cannot realize.
Yeah, but what is
it is important.
How he knows that I'm not going to go?
Yeah, important thing is they leave the body after 14th January, right? Because that is Makar Sankranti. After that, the sun starts going Makar Sankranti northwards.
Until June, right?
No, 14th January. Uttarayan.
No, but the first 6 months.
Uttarayan is where the ayan changes from Dakshinayan to Uttarayan. The sun changes its course from southern to northern, like that. And that is auspicious time for living body. For that, those 6 months is auspicious. There are other elements also which will come today, like that. Yeah.
But for bhaktas, it doesn't.
For bhaktas, Krishna will tell us later that, for bhakta, all this doesn't count. Bhaktas, only bhakti solves all the problem. All right. If you have kanti here, if you have put mala here, tilak here, and if you are chanting, all right, then no Yamadut can come. All right. You'll go to higher planets. And if you have completed bhakti, you'll go to Lord Krishna. All this depends upon Lord Krishna's discretion, not your and mine. We cannot decide that, oh, now I have completed bhakti and, I'm eligible to go to Krishna Lord. No, it's decided by Lord Krishna himself. Now, all this will come in this chapter. Okay, so we'll not go in detail of such chakra like that. Okay, so 14th and 16th, this remembering Krishna by pure bhakti, All right, so let's go to the 14th sloka. This is one of the very important sloka of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Ananya chetaha satatam.
Ananya cheta satatam.
Yo mam smarati nityasa.
Yo mam smriti nityasa.
Tasyaham sulabha partha.
Tasyaham sulabha partha.
Nitya yuktasya yogina.
Nitya yuktasya yogina.
Okay, so for one who always remembers me without deviation, all right, I'm easy to obtain, O son of Prutha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. All right, so constant devotional service without deviation, ananya cheta, all these things you can now think that, oh, this is not possible. All right, but it is. Arjun will say the same thing, that Krishna, how is this possible? But he will tell us how to do that. So this is very important, 14th slok number here. Then the 15th, Mam upetya punarjanma.
Mamupetya punarjanma.
Dukhalayam asasvatam.
Dukhalayam ashashvatam.
Napnuvanti mahatmanah.
Napnuvanti mahatmanah.
Samsiddhim paramam gataha.
Samsiddhi
Samsiddhim
paramam
paramam
gataha.
gataha.
Right. So whether you go by Sat Chakra or you go by Bhakti or any other method, after attaining me, the great souls, Mahatmas, who are yogis in devotion, never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. Who has made this world?
Krishna.
And he is certifying this world as Dukhalayam Asasvatam. Right? So if you and me have idea that I'll become happy here, forget about it. Lord Krishna says this is Dukhalayam. It's full of miseries. No, sir, I am okay, I have no problems. Can you say like that? No. The problems are constantly there. Last time we discussed 3 types of problems are inbuilt in this material body. Inbuilt. No one can escape. What are those 3?
Problem that you cause yourself, problems that are caused by others, and the natural
disasters.
Natural.
All right. Can you say that this year there should be no forest fires in California? Can you? No. You cannot say there should be no tornadoes in Midwest. No. And you cannot say that COVID cannot attack us. COVID is another living entity. All right. So this is known as Adhidevik, Adhyatmik, Adhibhautik. These 3 miseries are known as Trivid Tap. Right? And nobody is exempt here, sir. Right? Everybody has to suffer. And that's why the only solution is to get out of this Dukhalayam Asvatam. And that is by Prayana Kalecha Mameva. Antakalecha Mame. All right. So now let's see. The 16th slok is Abrahma Bhuna Loka.
Abrahmabhuna loka.
Punaravstardino Arjuna.
Punaravartino Arjuna.
Mamupetya tu Kaunteya.
Mamupetya tu Kaunteya.
Punarjanma na vidyate.
Punarjanma na vidyate.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So this is Lord Krishna is telling us about getting out of birth and death. Okay, so he says bhakti versus other methods. The practitioners of Karma Yoga, Gnan Yoga, and Hatha Yoga, Sat Chakra Yoga, although have some bhakti added, have their own self-interest. But a pure bhakti yoga is selfless, niskam karma yogi, and desires nothing except Lord Krishna's service. And that is why he is known as niskam yogi. All right. Therefore, he can attain Krishna very easily. Lord Krishna says you can very easily obtain me. Sulabha. Sulabha means very easily. All right. Having said that there is no rebirth for one who has entered this eternal spiritual world, Krishna will now contrast this with the temporary material world where there is repeated birth and death. What is that? The rebirth of everyone under the control of karma or fruitive activities and reactions, stated in the first two lines of verse 16, will be elaborated later. The Lord's abode described in the last two lines of verse 16 will be elaborated later. So in this 16th verse, there are two lines. One is Abrahma Bhuna Loka, right? It is describing what? The material world. And the second line is Mamupetyetu Kante Punarjanmana Vidyate. So those two contrasts are shown in that slok number 6. The first line is describing material world, like what? Punaravatar in order. And the second one is Mamupetyetu Punarjanmana Vidyate, right? Okay. So from 17th onwards is describing the material world versus spiritual world. So material world, what is it? Sahasra yug paryantam arhat brahmano viduhu ratrim yug sahasrantam teho ratra vidojana. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together from the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of the night. So Brahma's day, just like we have 12 hours from morning to evening, all right? And if you are busy, that 12 hours pass like just a moment, all right? If you are not busy, it takes so much time. If you have a flight in the evening, and you from morning, oh, when is why I have to go this? The time is not going fast. Right? But other times when you are busy, it goes like very fast. Like, okay, so Brahma's one day, which is known as what? One day Brahma is known as, what is the name? Nobody knows what is the name of Brahma's one day?
Yug?
Kalpa.
Kalpa.
Brahma's one day is known as Kalpa.
Kalpa.
And Mahavishnu's one day is known as what? Known as Vikalpa. Vishesh Kalpa. All right. So Brahma's one day is 1,000 yug cycles of human calculation. So one combination of 4 yugas is known as one Divya Yuga. Known as what? Divya Yuga. So in that one Divya Yugas, there are these 4 smaller yugas. What are those?
Kali Yuga. Dwapar, Treta, and
Satya, Dwapar, Kali Yuga.
Right. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. Right? So Kali Yuga is how long?
432,000.
Yeah, 432,000. And the whole combination is you add one more zero there. All this total of 4 yugas, it is 43. 4.3 million, 4.32 million. Okay. So that is 112 hours of Brahma. Bolo. And then in that one day, how many Manus are there?
1 day is 14.
14 Manus. 14 change of government occurs. Just like here, every 4 years, there is change of government. Right? Similarly, there, in one day, 14 Manus change. Right? All this will come in Bhagavatam later on. So he says that one Yuga cycle means Divya Yuga or Chatur Yuga is a combination of the 4 ages of Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. 1 year of humans is a day and night of the demigods. 1 year of human day and night of the demigods. All right. 1,000 such Chatur Yugas make 1 day of Brahma. And the whole lifespan of Brahma is how many such years? Such years, such days.
100 years?
100 years. Brahma lives 100 years. but his one day is 4.32 million, and also the night is also that long. So 8.64 million our year is just his one day, and then he lives 100 years of such each day. All right. And when he completes his like that, Lord Mahavishnu's just one palak like that.
Wow.
Nimish matrena. This is how the time. So you can see all these things are kind of beyond our conception. Just like what? The dog in your house cannot understand that there is government, that this Democratic Party, Republic. Can it understand? Never. It's beyond. Even the animals cannot understand themselves if you put mirror before them. Do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are only few animals who know that. Who are these? Anyone has any idea?
Elephant.
Elephant is one. Number two.
Cows?
Eh?
Cows?
No, not cows.
I think dolphin. Dolphin.
Dolphins.
Oh,
Bottleneck dolphins, they call it. They
Okay.
know. They're very intelligent. Right? There are some others also, but these two are main.
What do they know, Pankaj Bhai, again?
That I am this reflection in this mirror.
Oh,
Because elephant is also very intelligent.
Yeah,
Whoever the intelligent, they knows about.
they know like that.
I don't know about monkey, but
Yeah,
gorilla.
there are mainly three, but the third one I don't know. They say sometimes chimpanzee also have that. That's what they say. Anyway, okay. So from 18th and 19th slok, manifest and unmanifest of material world is described. So these slokas are expressing about the material world. That which the Vedantis describe, this is 20. Okay, let's go to 20th. Parastasmatu bhavo anyo avyakto vyakta sanatana yaha sa sarvesu bhutesu natsyatsu na vinasyati. So Lord Krishna is telling that there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. And before that, he was describing, oh, we skipped that, right? Okay, so 17th and 18th. 18th, he says, at the beginning of Brahma's day, all the living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state. And therefore, thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again. So let's come to our own example. We are spirit souls, right? Everybody agrees that?
yeah.
Is there any death for spirit soul?
No.
All right. So what happens to all of us when there is Brahma's night? When there is Brahma's night, everything is shut down.
Unmanifested.
Unmanifest. So where do we go?
go back into the supreme being.
Mahavishnu's.
Yes, we go lie dormant in Mahavishnu's body. All right. That's where we repose and we remain in dormant. Then when Brahma's day another starts, that's where we again come out. Why do we come out?
Still we have desire. That's why.
Because of our material desires. All right. But if you had spiritual desires, you could not have gone there. You couldn't go on to spiritual world. So here he says, Bhutagramasa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratya agame avashah partha prabhavatya aharagame. Again and again, when Brahma's days arrives, all living entities come into being, and with arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. And then he's describing about the spiritual world now. That apart from this material world, there is spiritual world. Can you see spiritual world from here?
No.
That's why it is avyakta. All right. And it is beyond this material. What is the proportion? Yesterday we talked.
75 and 25%.
Very good. That is avyakta, which we cannot see here. But its nature is spiritual. It's not like matter. That's why it's called bhavo anyo. Here there is matter is the bhav. There is the spirit. So he says, yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter or material world. It is the supreme and never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that past remains as it is. And then in 21st slok, he says, that which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode. Right? So Lord Krishna has described this as his supreme abode. All right. So let me give you this summary of 18th and 19th slok. He says, at the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest. They become vyakta. Right? That's why Sanskrit word for a person is what?
Vyakti.
Vyakti.
We didn't think about it.
I'm sorry?
I never think about it.
Yes. So there is a vyakti. We are manifestation of the soul. The body is a manifestation of the soul. What part of soul's manifestation? Desires. All right? You had a desire, that's why you got the body. If you had a desire of a dog, you get dog's body. Like that. All right? So vyakti. And the whole material manifestation is known as srusti. All right? The srusti is the whole material, and the soul is a vyakti. All right. All right. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest, vyakta. And when the night falls, they become avyakta, unmanifest again. In this way, the jivas appear and disappear again and again. That's why he says, bhutva, bhutva, praliyate. Bhutva means become manifest. Praliyate means becomes unmanifest. All right. As the days and nights of Brahma arrive. Superior to this unmanifested of Brahma's night in this material world, there is another unmanifest nature, which is eternal spiritual world. What is the name of that sky?
Paravyam.
Paravyom. All right. And this material world is known as Vyom. This material world, who is the controlling deity?
Durga.
Durga. And there? Antaranga Sakti. Okay. This is external. Antaranga is Radhaji. All right. So these all differences we should know. In 20 and 21 sloks, the summarization is that having described about his supreme abode, Lord Krishna will now describe the process of attaining it. All right. He says that, O Partha, a Purusha sa parah Partha bhaktya labhyastu anyaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. That is 12th slok number 22. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is pervading and everything is situated within him. So that is the 22nd. So Purusha Sah Partha Bhaktya Labhyastu Ananya. What kind of bhakti?
Ananya.
Ananya Bhakti. What is the other name of Ananya Bhakti? Last we spoke. It's known as Vyabhicharini. You remember that 14.26 is a diamond slok. All right, 14.26. Mam chayo avyabhicharene bhakti yogena sevate. Sa gunan samti tetan brahma bhuyai kalpate. Right? These are some of the cross references we should have in our mind in order to do what? To remain ananya bhaktya. All right. All right. Then on 23rd slok, he says, O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. So that's where this comes, this what we were discussing. Different times of death. He says, I shall now explain the different times at which passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not return to this world. All right. 2 ways of living this body. These are described from 24 to 26. I'll read the slokas and then we'll see that. Agnir Jyotir Aha Suklaha Sanmasaha Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. Those who know the Supreme Brahma attains the Supreme by passing away from this world during the influence of the fiery god, in the light, at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels to the north. So 14th January, the sun starts going back north. Right? That's called Uttarayan. In India, we celebrate it by kite flying. You know that, Ajit?
No.
There's a big festival in India, very big.
In Pakistan, we flew kite, but not for that reason. So yeah.
No, the reason different, but this is the basis behind it.
Okay.
You know, they fly kites and they enjoy like that. So those yogis, they go wait up to Uttarayan. After that, they pass it. Like who? Like this gentleman. And Bhishma also. And my father also passed away on 20th of January. After 14th was passed. So Uttarayan is good. You know, that takes you to higher planets. Like that.
Pankaj bhai, regardless of your karmas, or how does that work?
No,
not
all
for everybody.
Not for everybody. It's all for those who have done some sukruti, right, and some attempt at, and it's not that everybody is liberated. They are higher planets.
Higher planets, yeah.
Yeah. Dhumo ratris tatha krishna sanmasa dakshinayanam tatra chandramasam jyotir yogi prapya nivartate. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. So all this is for the yogis, all right? Karma yogi, Gnan yogi, Hat yogi, Bhakti yogi, everybody, all the yogis. Then in the 26th
sloka, what is the fact waxing moon?
Waxing and waning. Waxing is becoming bigger.
Oh, okay.
All right. Duj ka chand, Tij ka chand will now be bigger. Okay. Waning means now becoming slowly smaller, like that. All right. According to Vedic opinion, there are 2 ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. This is 26th law. Right? Although the devotees know these 2 paths, O Arjun, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. This is Lord Krishna's opinion in 27th law. He said, don't bother about whether you're going to pass in Uttara or Dakshina or waxing moon, waning moon, day or night, doesn't matter. What provided what?
Just
steady in bhakti.
Which kind of bhakti?
Ananya.
Ananya bhakti must be there. That is where he will take care. Otherwise, also, if you have done little bhakti, still you will get higher planet. That is explained in 6th chapter, we saw it, right? Okay, very good. All right. Then he says, at the time of death, the mind carries one to a new life. People in general must leave the body at suitable time to be assured whether or not to return to this material world. But for the pure devotees in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning to this world, whether they leave their bodies at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or even by arrangement. Being fully surrendered souls, they leave everything in Krishna's hands and easily go to the spiritual world. So, although the devotees know these 2 paths, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion, O Arjun. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu yoga yukta bhavarjuna. The beauty of Krishna consciousness is that by one stroke, what is that? By engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all rituals of the different orders of life. This is the conclusion of this. What is that? The supreme position of a bhakti yoga. By studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, whatever pious results may be obtained, one can surpass all of them by knowing me and my glories and performing devotional service. Such a devotee attains the supreme eternal abode. All right? So all other processes, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. And if you do bhakti and don't do dan and other things like that, still you will get the result. This is what he says here. Right? So our one-pointed attempt for getting out of this material world, which is Dukhalaya Masasvatam, is to take exclusive shelter of Lord Krishna. Where does he say take exclusive shelter? 18th chapter. What is that? Mam ekam, only me. All right? But we have seen that you and me cannot take shelter directly of Lord Krishna. So what do we do?
Guru.
You have to have Guru. And that Guru should be pure devotee bhakta like that. Vaishnava. Any Vaishnava who is initiated can guide you. Right? And who is the topmost Vaishnava?
Bhagwan Shankar.
It is Sukadeva Goswami says, Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. Nimna Gana means nadis, rivers. Nimna Gana, Nimna means niche, Gana means going. All the rivers go from above to below. They don't go from below to above. Have you seen any river going from below to above? No. That's why they are known as Nimna Ganam. Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. The best of all rivers is Ganges, Ganga. Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. Right? Lord Shankar is best of all Vaishnava. Why? Sometimes I heard Bhagavan Shankar has 5 faces. One of them is constantly chanting Lord Ram's glory. Ram, 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 Ram. Like that. Shankar Bhagavan is busy meditating on Lord Rama, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, like that. And Sadasiv is Bhavan, is Lord Shiva, Vishnu Tattva, Sadasiv in the spiritual sky. Like that. So that's how we should take shelter of Lord Shiva also. Who took shelter of Lord Shiva?
Narsimha Mehta.
Narsimha Mehta. Similarly, Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, all these are bona fide channels through which you can go to Lord Krishna. Right? Very good. So this was, what's it?
I don't know where is the noise is coming from, but I wanted to tell that this last shloka, Bhagavan says, Ved, Yagna, Tap, Dan, whatever the punya.
Yes.
If you do bhakti, you don't have to worry about that. And the Devhuti Mata says that if you do the bhakti, if you're doing the bhakti, if you're chanting the Bhagwan's name, you already did all that. Tepu, tapaste, sasnurarya, juhu.
Right. Very. What is that sloka which says?
Ahobat shwapacho yato gariyana yat jivagre vartate nam tobhyam tepuhu tapaste juhuvu sasnurarya brahma anuchurnam gunantiyate. So
they have done all this. All right. Anyone who is chanting constantly Bhavan Krishna, Lord Rama's name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Jihuvagre. At the top of his tip, Bhavan Krishna's name is also always there. Vishnu name. All right? One who is now doing this 24/7, even in sleep, his tongue is not chanting, but his mind is chanting.
Mirabai.
Mirabai and Narsimha, all great. All right? Prabhupada Maharaj, they all great devotees of Lord. Each thought is about Bhavan Krishna's service. So these are very exalted. They are Mahabhagavat. All right. So you and me can become Mahabhagavat or no? Yeah, you can also become, provided you walk in their footprints. All right. Tarko pratishta sutta vibhinna nacha urusir yasya manam na bhinna. So you don't speculate. All right. Instead of speculating, what you do? Go where these great souls have gone. There is a big ocean. This ocean is known as what? Bhavasagar. Bhusagar means the ocean of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. You have walked on the shore at Venice Beach, I'm sure, on Los Angeles. Eh? But there is a boat, right? There is a boat which can take you across that ocean. What is that boat? That boat is the 2 feet of a Vaishnava. So as soon as you take shelter of that boat will take you straight to the other side, spiritual world. And as soon as you reach there, it comes back. For what? For others. And Bhagavatam says, Samasrita yapat pallav plavam. Plavam means boat. Anyone who has taken this shelter of this plavam, some asrita yapat pallav plavam. Samasrita yapat pallav plavam. Mahat padam punya yashomura. Mahat padam. Mahatpad means, Mahat means all these great devotees. Yashomurare. Bhavam budir vatsa padam, padam padam yad vipdam. We don't want to stay here in this place where there is danger at every step. Right? There is danger at every step. Any moment, your body, your seed soul can leave this body. So this is the beauty of taking Bhagavan Krishna's shelter. All right. So in this chapter, Bhagavan Krishna has given us synopsis how you can take it like that. Everyone has to leave the body at one time. Everybody agrees that?
Yes, of course.
Ajit Bhai, can you read that?
Everyone knows that one day one has to go, but how many know where to go? One who does not know, there's a light over there.
Where to go?
Can you?
Where to,
Where to go, right? So everyone knows that one day one has to go, all right? But how many know where to go? Nobody knows where will I go. One who does not know where to go and how to go will certainly remain confused, all right? And afraid in life due to the underlying uncertainty of future, all right? If you and me do not have this Google or Waze or anything, you're driving somewhere in new city, you'll be lost, like that. But one who knows that I'm going to Lord Krishna, then he is very happy actually, all right? That, I have to now go and I have practiced remembering Lord Krishna, like that. All these things are very important. I want to show if some other slides are there. All right. Okay, this is another nice do you see this picture?
Yes.
Oh, what is it showing?
Clothes hanging on a hanger.
All right. So when you go to buy clothes, all right, for example, you want to buy new shirt or new some clothes, what are the two things which you need to consider in order to get that cloth?
What color do you want?
Yes, very good.
Whether it fits you or not.
What else?
How much you can afford?
How much is going to be what?
How much we can afford?
How much it's going to cost?
Cost.
Cost,
Two things, very important.
Yeah.
Your own choice, color, size, everything. All right. And number two, how many dollars?
Yeah.
These two things. All right. So same two things apply regarding a very different type of cloth. What is the different type of cloth?
Body.
Body. So what are those two things?
Pros and subtle.
Desire. All right. You will desire that, no, I want to get spiritual body or I want to get demigod body. Desire is there. But do you have the money for that? What is that money known as?
Bhakti.
Karma. Your karma.
That you've done, yeah.
Your activity. If you had done bhakti, Bhagavan Krishna's bhakti, did his prachar, induced others, give them books, all this you are doing, this is your account. So that is going to help you get the spiritual body. All right. So you and me have left whatever years in this body, start building that account.
Yeah.
So that we can get out of here.
So we can buy good clothes.
Yeah, very good. We want a spiritual clothes. That's it.
Okay, yeah, that's
Here it says, just as living life is an art, all right, and we can learn that art from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, dying is also an art, and that too we should learn from Bhagavad Gita. One who learns this art becomes fearless, all right? Just like she was mentioning about the other guy. They become fearless, that I'm okay, I'm not going to hell.
I remember that long time ago when I heard first time that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Then in front of mirror, I was asking that I am not this, whatever I'm seeing in the mirror. It was very like, I was very
Confusing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very
confusing,
confusing.
not like boy, too much like fear.
So
Oh my God.
this is the gist of today's chapter number 8. Chapter number is primarily focusing on prayanakale, antakale. If you would only remember these two slokas, antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Yah prayati samadbhavam nasti tatra sansaya. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajanti ante kalevaram. Tam tam vetti konte sadatad bhav bhavita. So these two slokas you should speak every day. I speak it every day without fail. Every day. All right. Why? Because it reminds you that one day I have to vacate this body. All right. And before I vacate, I want to prepare that what will I think at the end. And if I don't think at the end, what will happen to me? If I'm not able to do that. If I'm in coma.
Lord Krishna.
Yadi vatadi doshani.
In Vara Puran, Bhagwan Vara has given one promise. Yadi vatadi dosena mad bhakta
Mama vismarit.
mama vismarat. Vismarat means forgets me. Because of some disturbance of the body. What will I do?
Aham smarami mad bhakta. Nayami
Nayati
paramam gati.
Nayati paramam. I will remember him. Bolo. Bhagavan Krishna, in fact, anyone who chants his name on all these things, Lord Krishna remembers him all the time. He doesn't have to focus on one person to remember. He can hear and focus on everyone at any time. His brain is not like ours. All right? So when you bow down to Lord Krishna in our Samarlin temple, know that Lord Krishna is noticing me. Right? He is looking at me. Now when he looks at you, he's looking is not like ordinary humans you looking. You are shortlisted. Well, you are shortlisted for what? That you will come to me. Right? So come every Sunday, at least once in a week, come to the temple, bow down to Lord Krishna, all right, and tell him that, oh Lord, your servant has come here. Tell me what could I do? Engage me in your service. And these 3 words you must remember. Engage me in your service. Ask him, and he will do that, one way or other. All right? So all these are very, very, very highly evolved spiritual concepts and software for this computer. So that's how we should develop love for Lord Krishna. That's what it is. The human form of body has only one function, one goal. What is that? How to develop love for Lord Krishna. If you are able to do that, and this is the process very simple. What is that simple thing? You just ask him very sincerely, oh Lord Krishna, please engage me. What is that prayer, Padmaven?
Oh, my dear Lord Sri Krishna, although I have forgotten you for many lives, today I'm trying to be your sincere and serious devotee. Please engage me in your service.
Listen carefully, okay? Don't mix up. This is a formula. This is very standard. My dear Lord Sri Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many lives in this material world, All right? Completely go like this, ditto. Today I am surrendering unto you. First thing is surrender. I am trying to be your sincere and serious servant. This is sentence number 2. And the third thing is, please engage me in your service. Niyungsva atma service. And engage me in your service. So this is, if you see these 3 sentences very sincerely, ditto in Lord Krishna. Who has given this formula? Lord Prabhupada Maharaj is given. Right? So that's how you can bow down. Another thing, you can bow down to Lord Prabhupada Maharaj himself. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada. We humbly bow down to you we humbly bow down to you for your gift of Krishna consciousness. And also you can say so many things about Prabhupada Maharaj service. We bow down to you for your kind gift of Krishna Bhakti to us, for in appreciation of your devotion and kind gift of Krishna Bhakti to us, like that. So if you Bhagavan Krishna is very pleased when you bow down to Sri Prabhupada. Right? As he has said that those who are my devotees are not my devotees. Those my devotees, they are my real devotees. So you have to become devotee of a devotee, and then your path is straight open, like that. Very good. So today was a little longer like that. But tomorrow's chapter is the central chapter of whole Bhagavad Gita. Right? 9th chapter. And the last sloka is the gist of all. All right. So please read the translations of all the slokas. There are 34 slokas like that. Read
Pankaj bhai, can we?
So,
sorry about interrupting.
What is that?
So, Radha Govind Swami ka, I was listening to a lecture, Devhuti and Kapil Dev ka, or second lecture mein wo hai, like towards the 20 minutes left to the lecture, end of the lecture, उसमें वो एक दोहा देते हैं तुलसीदास का. तुलसीदास says कि it is possible कि पानी को churn करके उसमें से घी निकाल सकते हैं, मगर और फिर दूसरा भी कुछ example दी उसके, second भी, but without Lord Krishna's bhakti you will not be released from this Bhausagar, meaning ki uski. So right. He says it so fast I cannot catch it what that doha was.
It's in Ramayana. It's in Ramayana.
Right. Oh, doha nahi tha. Yes, it's from the
it's in Ramayana.
Tulsi Ramayana. Yes.
Right.
So
there are 3 examples given. One is butter out of water, and then grains out of sand or something there like that. I still also don't remember all of this. But
Balu something he mentioned, I don't know what that means.
Balu means the
sand.
The sand.
Sand, okay.
Yeah, from there you can you get some grains out of it.
Wo meaning.
So what was that one? What was thing? What was?
If you could tell us what that shloka is in Ramayana, that we could try to memorize it.
I will find it out. And
so
then,
who says that? I have Ramayana here.
Tulsidas.
No, but what is the prasang? What is the prasang? What is
उनकी saying है रामायण में कि you can even churn water and maybe you can get ghee out of the water churn, which is not possible. But he says it could happen because this last thing that I'm saying is impossible. Without Krishna Bhakti, you cannot get liberation.
Right.
You will be stuck in the cycle of birth and death.
Right. Yeah, that I'll find out and see if I can locate that. All right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow. Okay. We are now at the halfway. All right.
Yeah.
Another 9 days.
Thank you.
But do you feel after seeing, do you feel some more enthusiasm in your life about now getting out of birth and death? You should. All right? You should feel that. Not only you should feel, you should practice some more. like that.
Mm.
Very good. Okay, so we'll meet
Okay.
tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Panchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu
Hindu evacha
patitanam
patitanam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo namah. Sri Krishna arpanamastu. Hari Bol.
Sri Krishna.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Jai Sri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Yes,
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.